I'm Kelsey. This is my channel, The Fancy Hat Lady Reads. You may or may not be aware that when I started BookTube, I had just one fancy BookTube hat, and it was this purple one. About 6 months after I started my channel, I hit 100 subscribers, and for me, that was a big enough deal that I went out and I bought myself a second hat, and that was the black and red one. And then after that, it was about another 6 months. It was around my 1-year BookTube anniversary that I hit 200 subscribers. And for 200 subscribers, I got this third hat, and I said to myself, well, I can't get a new hat for every 100 subscribers at this point. I'll have to wait until I hit 500 for hat number 4. But the year rolled around, and eventually we came to New Year's, January 2018 of this year, and I was still shy of 500 subscribers. I'd been having a kind of steady growth trajectory, and then for a few months there it just halted. And then I put out my anticipated SFF releases of 2018 video, and that got a lot of view traffic from recommended videos, and all of a sudden I surged past that 500 mark very, very quickly without any preparation time to get my wits together and plan how I was gonna get my new hat. And then on a more somber note, it was not long after that that YouTube announced all of their new demonetization rules, where basically pretty much all small booktubers were going to get demonetized. Now, I never monetized my channel to begin with because my channel was so small it didn't feel like it was going to be worth the bother for me. But yeah, it hurts this community as a whole a lot that YouTube is sending this message that they don't value the type of content that we make enough to support us. Because booktube channels, for the most part, aren't on the growth trajectory that YouTube has in mind as sort of its corporate ideal for how creators are using their platform. Our channel growth tends to be much, much slower for the amount of work that we put in. But in the wake of that announcement that lots of us were getting demonetized, people started doing massive shout-outs all over BookTube. And I received some wonderful shout-outs from some people that it really warmed my heart to receive those shout-outs, so I'm going to say thank you if you gave me a shout-out. And that got me speeding all the way to 600 subscribers before I even managed to choose the right hat for 500. But I am proud to announce today that I finally have my 500/600 subscriber celebratory hat to haul for you here. This was a hat I had saved on my watch list on eBay, even though it was out of my price range, and then the price on it got reduced, so then it was in my price range, and I got it. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Here it is. It is blue. I wanted a blue or green color scheme to complement the array of other colors that I have so far. I also greatly appreciate the contrast with the yellow here. I think that is very, very sharp. And of course, the kicker of this hat is these absolutely astoundingly elegant pheasant feathers. So let me tell you a bit about this hat. I purchased this from a secondhand retailer on eBay, but it originally comes from ODA's Fashions in Montana. It came with the original tag. ODA's Fashions has a small Etsy store that I can link for you. They sell a variety of vintage style items. I believe their hats are new hats or base vintage hats with new trim. I am not certain if the base hat of this one was new, used, or vintage, but I believe that all of the trimmings were new. And that Etsy store that I'm going to link for you has a couple other really snazzy vintage style decorated hats on it in case you are curious. So I'm going to put the hat on now. Here's what it looks like when it's on. So I've experimented a bit to make sure that I'm going to have clearance for these feathers back here when I move my head. I think it's gonna work out just fine. And there's the hat. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy indeed. So the other thing I want to do here is, at long last, my own set of small booktuber shoutouts. When all of that demonetization hubbub was happening, I just didn't have time to make this video, but I always intended to. And I thought that this 500, 600 subscriber celebratory hat haul would be the perfect time to give a quick shout out to a few of my favorite booktubers who currently have under 1,000 subscribers. I only have time for 5 of them now. This hurts my heart because, of course, there are more that I love, and also a whole ton of booktubers who are over that 1,000 subscriber mark are still getting demonetized because they don't have the requisite watch time. Booktube videos, I think, don't tend to get as many individual clicks and views from people who don't subscribe to those channels as other types of channels do. But for now, I'm just gonna shout out 5 channels that have under 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully I'll have an occasion to do more of these shout outs in the future. The first channel I'm going to shout out is Maija from Maija Reads. She is a Finnish booktuber, and she is in that 900 range of subscribers right now, so she is getting close to 1,000. Let's get Maija to 1,000 subscribers, please. If you like that I read a lot of fairy tale-ish fantasy, you will probably also like Maija's channel. But unlike me, she is not afraid of the really dark and creepy stuff. So if you like my channel and the SFF stuff I read, but you're like, Kelsey, you're a wimp when it comes to SFF and fairy tale fantasy and stuff, where is all the dark creepy stuff? The person you want to be subscribed to is Maija. She also reads a whole lot more comics and graphic novels than I do, and I love seeing what she's reading because usually it's stuff that I haven't heard of before. Next, I want to shout out Bex and John from KnightHunter Books. They are a newer channel, and they are one of these magical couples channels where there are 2 of them, and they are a couple. And they both read books and they talk about them in videos together. And sometimes they're reading the same book, sometimes they're reading different books, sometimes one of them will read a book and then sometime later the other one will read the same book. But it's great. It's like 2 booktubers for the price of 1. They're both absolutely lovely and they both read a lot of SFF. And I am flummoxed that they don't yet have more subscribers than they do. You should totally check them out. Next, I want to shout out a channel that I've been watching for a very long time in a kind of lurky way. I think she's probably one of the first booktubers I ever subscribed to. And that is the channel ohbthr, spelled OHBTHR, all one word, missing some vowels. I think her name is Kate, although she doesn't use her name on her booktube channel. She reads a lot of fantasy, which is why I follow her, both adult and YA. She doesn't post all that often, but what she does post are wrap-ups and reviews of a very consistent quality, and I appreciate that a lot. The next channel I want to shout out is one where I'm absolutely flummoxed that she doesn't have more subscribers yet, and that is Lia Cooper. She is a self-published author. She reads a lot of fantasy and sci-fi. She shares my love of everything written by Catherine M. Valenti, as well as a lot of other book preferences that we have in common, and she is exceptionally articulate. One of the interesting things that I really appreciate about her videos is that she is one of those people who is very good at explaining why she doesn't like a book when she doesn't like a book. So she's one of those people on BookTube where, like, if she's gonna trash a book, like, even if it's a book I loved, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch that thing because I know she's going to be clearly thought out and intelligent about it, and it's going to make me think. And then the last channel I'm going to shout out for today is another 2-person channel, this one that I discovered relatively recently, and that is Jessica and Christina from Game of Tomes. They are just really fun to watch, these 2 fabulous ladies. They have such a fun rapport with each other on camera. Between the 2 of them, they read a lot of really popular books, and it is so much fun to watch them talk with each other about the books they're reading. So they are a newer favorite channel of mine that I've only recently discovered. Anyhow, I hope I will have time to bring you more shoutouts sometime soon. Those are just 5. Anyhow, I hope you're having a nice day. That is all. Bye for now.